Start off by saying a gritty win, and I know we talked about it being a gritty win on Wednesday in two different looking games, but I thought that was a huge toughness win for us today. I was kind of afraid to look at the box score to see what the rebounding margin was. Didn't feel like we rebounded the ball very well to give them, especially with some of the lineups they were using. 14 offensive rebounds was tough for us. Now I think they did a really good job of making us help and kind of over-rotate a few times, which helped them. And I don't know what they scored second chance point. I guess they only got 7. It felt like a lot more. But to have 14 offensive rebounds was tough on us. But I thought other than that, the 50-50 balls, the hustle plays were definitely in our favor. And I thought a few of those were game changers. We had a couple where to start the game, Jacquie's on the floor on a jump ball. That was awesome to see. We had a couple where we towed the line, and Kate's 3 that we ended up going up 9, I thought was huge. She rips the ball out, keeps the ball alive, get a second chance at it. When I thought we had a layup and couldn't get to the line there, and for us to finish that possession from going up 6 to +9, I thought was huge. And again, just kind of gritted it out from there. They made a good run at it, and part of it was us making some mistakes, and part of it was they have some good players that just made some plays. They got that thing pretty tight, and lo and behold, once again, I've said this a few times, I'm no longer ever surprised by the character of this team, the toughness of this team, and every adverse situation we have pulled through. And we did that once again today. Yeah, and I thought we did a really good job of that in the first quarter. I think we got to the free throw line, didn't convert as many times as we could have, but I think we went to the line 13 times in the first quarter and didn't get there again, I think the last 12 minutes of the half. So there's something, and part of that was them going zone, but I just didn't like us kind of taking the foot off the gas, and just I felt like they had control of the game. It was their pace. We were putting the ball above our heads a lot and just kind of looking to make that next pass on our heels. We really talked at the end of the second quarter, when we went down 5 and had Kai out with the injury, had Kai down there with 3 fouls, we couldn't get that. That couldn't go from 5 to 11, and it went from, I think, 5 to 1. Felt okay, going into halftime, down 1. I knew going in that Ty was going to come back. I don't know if these guys did. I kind of let Ty walk into the locker room there and have that. But whether that inspired them, whether that was them just, again, kind of collecting themselves, I really, really thought we came out with really great energy to start the second half once again, and that's a credit to the character of this team. I think some of that was her missing some shots, but I think, we kind of got in some foul trouble. Felt like Tyler had to guard 12, which put Klotz on 3, and I think 2 games in a row that she's really done a really good job on a tough cover. I think maybe a little bit her length bothered her a little bit, and again, she made some tough ones in the first half, and maybe didn't always in the second half. But I thought we made her a little more comfortable. I thought she kind of had some. I think it was a runner there, and I think Jacquie might have even blocked a shot or 2. Even in one of them being a jump shot, and that gets in your head a little bit. And for her to come up with 17 points, that's a good day for her. But I think we made her work. She was 5 of 21 from the field. That's a good day for us defensively. I didn't have it wasn't oh my God, what are you doing? I think it was a little bit lower in the shot clock. I think I saw the highlight out of the corner of my eyes over there with Justin. I think Sune was down to 10 or 11. In my mind, we still had a little more time than that. So it was a little bit not the right time, not the right place. I felt like we had a pretty good matchup with Debs inside that we missed. But that's a shot she's been making. That's a shot that kid has worked just as hard as anybody else over the summer, and it didn't always show up for her early in the season. And for her to still push through and still battle through, and we talk about adversity with this group. She's had a lot of adversity happen for her, and she's just grinded. She's had some huge games for us here over the last couple weeks. She's somebody we rely on, and that consistency. And again, when it left her hands, I felt like it had a really good chance to go in. It wasn't. Oh my God, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. But that was a big shot. Obviously we had been scrambling a little bit and kind of maybe left them hanging a little bit. But for it to go from 3 to 6 with under a minute there, that was as big a shot as we've had here in a while.
I felt like my defender didn't know where, was far off of me, and I just felt like we were not having a good lead like we did earlier, and I don't know, I just felt open, and I was like, I'm just going to shoot this one. Yeah. Also because Carly told me in warm-ups my shot was looking good, so I better shoot it if I'm open.
I think that throughout the whole game we were getting the ball moving, and those just come as a result of that. If I have an open lane, it's my job to take that lane, and what that's going to do is create shots for other people for the next plays down the line. Kate, Debs, and a lot of other people were hitting their shots early in the game, and that's what allowed those types of lanes to open up and be wide open looks for me. So it's that kind of movement that happens throughout the game that makes those kinds of things possible. I think that we've had other moments where we can connect like that, but that's definitely us at our best. It just goes to show that sometimes we may not be connecting, and we're going to have those moments, but when we do show that we can come together on the floor and make a play as a team, that we're going to be a very tough team to guard, and that's going to take us far.
Yeah, and she was struggling a little bit from the floor as well. And I think even early, just didn't get a whole lot of shots and maybe kind of forced a couple tough ones. She had missed, I think, at least one, if not 2 threes right before that. And she had passed one up, maybe a possession, or maybe even earlier in the possession that she had passed one up. And, we've told her, we've told a couple other kids that, and I remember had a conversation with Klotz today, like, they're going to go in. We're too good of a shooting team. Some of these kids are just too good of a shooters to have a lid on that basket all the time. So I was proud of her. She was wide open. And we got to get people to guard us the way that we want them to guard us. And in our offense, we need our post players to be able to make perimeter jumpers and be a threat from the perimeter. That helps their teammates inside. And, she's been very good for us all season from the arc. Not always a high percentage, but she's as good a shooter in practice from that range as almost anybody else.
Yeah, I thought I was getting more open looks, and obviously it's my job to take them. So I think my teammates were doing a good job of, creating stuff for me. Yeah, I think a ton of it's just confidence. My teammates are more confident in me. I'm more confident in myself, and that's showing.
Whole team?
Yeah, I think, like Jackie said, we've had other really good moments, but that was definitely a fun quarter to be a part of.